Alright guys, I've tried recording this video like 4 times. I swear I'm getting rusty. But hey guys, what is up? Big Reviews here, back again with a video. I'm in the Stan Lee jacket. Today we are talking about Captain America 4 Brave New World. This movie has been plagued with reshoots, plagued with new scripts and all that, been pushed back a year. We're finally getting it in February. And it looks very promising, in my opinion. It's giving me the Winter Soldier vibes and like what a Captain America should be. And I'm glad we can kind of step back from this multiversal king stuff and have stories like this. It's kind of like how Winter Soldier was. Like this just looks like politics. You know, yes, we have Red Hulk and all this in here, but this is more like a political thriller, and I'm really excited for that. I'm honestly shocked at like how trending this trailer was, because you know, obviously superhero fatigue is kind of around, even though I don't really agree with superhero fatigue, and that's a point for another video. I just feel like we're tired of shitty products, right? But in my opinion, Marvel has put out more good than bad since Endgame, but they obviously have taken a nosedive, but it looks like they're crawling out of it. And again, that's a topic for another video. But this trailer just blew up everywhere, and everyone's talking about how Marvel's back and all this and that. And I just really wanted to review this trailer because it does look good, and I'm pretty excited for it. I just saw a lot of people confused online, and some of my friends were confused too. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election. You and I haven't always agreed in the past.
So basically, this is Thunderbolt Ross, guys. Now, if you guys don't know, Thunderbolt Ross has been around since 2008, since the beginning. I mean, he's been around since Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Now, he did die, the actor, in 2021 or 22. So they had to recast him, obviously, and that's why they make this really meta joke about they love his new look and he had to shave the mustache. But in the, you know, they've done this before in Iron Man 2 when Rhodes got replaced.
Didn't expect to see you here. Look, it's me. I'm here to deal with it. Let's move on.
It's a really great way to just, you know, quickly get over that this is a new actor, let's keep it moving type thing. Because in a cinematic universe like this, obviously you can't control if someone gets sick or anything. So if you have to recast and stuff, you know, it's better to not just linger on it. Just go, go, go. And basically he's talking about how they never seen eye to eye, because if you guys remember, Thunderbolt Ross was a main pusher of the Sokovia Accords in Civil War. He brought it to the Avengers HQ and they all read it, and as you know, Sam was on Captain America's side, and Captain America really didn't like the Sokovia Accords. And I love how he just says we haven't seen eye to eye, aka I've thrown you in jail, Sam. Like it's not like an argument, it's like I've thrown you in jail before, right? But this is going to be one of the conflicts going on in this movie, is their dynamic and how Sam reacts to it, because now, you know, the show's whole premise was him feeling like he wasn't deserving of the mantle of Captain America, and he finally got that at the end. So now it's going to be about how the military wants to turn Captain America into a military tool, and he doesn't really want to do that. He wants to be just Captain America, right?
But I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
So here's what I'm talking about with the military thing. As you can first see, there's a big thing in these scenes that you can't really make out unless you pause or you're a nerd like me. In the background, that is Tiamat's hand. If you guys don't know who Tiamat is, at the end of the Eternals movie, also slept on movie. I really did like Eternals. I don't know why people bashed it to all hell. At the end of that movie, they stopped one of the Sentinels from coming out of the Earth and destroying the Earth, and it just stuck there. And for 4 years, our time, I say our time because obviously in the MCU it's probably been like a year, not even, but movies take time. The pandemic pushed everything back. This movie itself has had so many reshoots and rewrites and all that, so it got pushed back like a year or two. But it's so good to finally see them acknowledging this, because this is a big thing. A fat ass like alien just coming out of the ocean, right? As you can see, he wants to make Captain America a military target, and we see Japan on the radar, and Japanese jets going around the Tiamat. And this actually goes back to some leaks that came out a while ago and some theories, and I'm pretty sure it's confirmed at this point that the source of adamantium in the MCU is going to be from Tiamat, which makes sense because, you know, they've already done the shit coming from space or whatever through vibranium, you know, with Black Panther and Captain America's shield. So this is a cool way, in my opinion, to do it, and this is going to be the major conflict of the movie, right? Unless something's changed, which I don't see if Tiamat's in the trailer. Where all these different countries are trying to That's why it says Brave New World, because all these different countries are trying to, be peaceful, but then this big ass creature comes out and everyone's like, well, you don't, like USA, you don't have the right for adamantium, and USA is like, well, Japan, you don't have the right. So I feel like it's gonna be all these political parties, both in actual warfare and people in suits, fighting over who owns the right for adamantium, and that's gonna propel the MCU forward even more. And I'm glad we're getting more stories like these where it's like, oh, it's gonna have effects on the MCU, because I feel like in Phase 4 and stuff, not a lot of stuff connected, right? So now I'm glad we're finally getting back to that. We have Deadpool now setting up X-Men in this and all that, and I do love how this film is like Winter Soldier vibes, where yeah, we have the adamantium stuff that's not obviously like grounded a little bit, but like we have a political thriller here with everything that's going on. So I'm really excited for that. So let's continue. Isaiah!
Sir, your inner circle has been compromised.
Okay, so here we see Isaiah Bradley from the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Now, if you haven't seen that show, like I said, please go see it. It's really good, and the same showrunner who's doing it is running the movie, so it's going to be cohesive. He was actually one of the first Captain Americas. He talks about how the government kidnapped him and a bunch of other people and experimented on him and then basically just threw them away. And his whole arc in the show is really good. So this is him, and I guess he's being brainwashed. Later in the trailer, we do see a Green Hand. If you guys don't know, the Thinker's in this movie too, which is the guy from Incredible Hulk in 2008, and Bruce Banner's blood splattered onto his forehead, growing his head. He's supposed to be a really smart Hulk, but then we just never saw anything from him for like 17 years. So now, like, now he's in this movie, and we see a shot in the trailer later on of a Green Hand taking a picture, and I think this is what activates him, and you see other people in that room attacking people too, to basically be brainwashed. And I think this is confirmed from the trailer itself, because you see these white flashes where, this February and Brave New World, and the logo just going from black and white. I think that's supposed to represent the clicking of a picture, like flash photography, and I think that in a rhythm is gonna turn these people into the attackers. So
Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
okay, so here we see our first shot of the Thinker. It confirms it in the subtitles, and he has a little fedora on, and basically he's calling Captain America a pawn. And we see some action, and we see what looks like a bunker. I think this is the Thinker's like main. We see Gerties with straps on it and chairs with straps. I think this is an experimentation room. And continue.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Okay, so here we see our first look at Giancarlo Esposito in a Marvel movie. We don't know who he's playing. There's been a lot of theories, but he said all of them are wrong. So it's gonna be interesting to see who he is. We get this dope shot of Sam with the shield deflecting bullets, and we see the pink cherry blossom trees, which is actually a cool place. I don't know if this is gonna be the final fight, or if this is a fight in the middle of the movie or whatever, but it's gonna be very interesting, because if you guys don't know, these cherry blossoms were a gift from Japan, and they're in Washington, D.C. They bloom every year. And so that's interesting, because earlier in the trailer we see Japan forces at Tiamat. So it's going to be interesting with all the political conflict and stuff and the tension going on between us and Japan in this movie, and all these other things that happens in the cherry blossoms. So I am really excited to see this. And as you can see, Harrison Ford says, you're not Steve Rogers. And that was the whole thing of Sam getting over in the show, where he's like, I'm not Steve Rogers. Everyone's gonna associate Captain America with Steve Rogers, and he knows that a black man picking up the shield is not gonna go over well in America, and that's his whole arc in the show. And so this is basically the president saying that, speaking for the people. And yeah, let's continue.
You're right. I'm not.
We have have him, and this is the completion of his arc from the show, where he knows he's not Steve Rogers. He is Sam Wilson. He is Captain America. And there's no point in comparing the two. And we have him in these cherry blossoms, and he's picking up the shield, and we see him flying around Tiamat with his new mask on. Now, this was leaked from like McDonald's toys that the mask is on, and it was leaked that Red Hulk was in the trailer, so I'm glad we're about to see him here in a second. But it is nice that just to get confirmation. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Sam holds up to the Hulk, because I mean, as you know, he hasn't taken serum, and I don't know how I stand on if he should take the serum or not. A part of me doesn't want to, because, you know, then he's just like a human, and because he has a really badass hardcore vibranium suit. But a part of me does want to take him so that he can fight like actual, you know, creatures and stay. Because I don't know how he's gonna fight Red Hulk here. I really don't. But as you can see, he hits the sound barrier, which is just badass, and we see the other Falcon. A lot of people were like, "Oh, is that the second Captain America? They just mess up." No, that is Falcon. They set that up in the show. That is a soldier that was friends with Sam and became the Falcon, took over the Falcon. And this shot at the end here is Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross. I can't wait to see Harrison Ford's face on this thing, throwing the shield. And I just can't believe we finally have Red Hulk. I mean, people have been wanting this since 2008, and since they can't do... So I'm going to say quickly, a lot of people are like, why don't they just make a Hulk movie? Obviously, I know I miss like the Hulk that we had in 2008. They really can't, because that's why Hulk has never appeared in his own movie since then, because Universal owns the rights. So they either won't let Disney do it, or it's like a Sony thing where they do it on their own end, and they would just mess everything up. So it's cool to at least have Red Hulk here, and it's going to be interesting to see how Sam can fight him and what this entails for Ross as a president and a character. Because we all know Harrison Ford. I mean, Harrison Ford does look like he's trying in this movie. As you know, some of his performances, especially since he gotten older, he's just like grumpy and all that. You could tell he's actually trying. I really do appreciate him for that. I just can't wait for these interviews in like February when the movie comes out of them like, what's your favorite Marvel character? What's your favorite Marvel movie? He just doesn't care. I love that aspect of him. He's so funny. But it's gonna be interesting to see how if Ross dies in this movie, because I can't see them. You know, Harrison Ford's 82, right? I don't know. I can't see how long they're gonna let him be in the, you know, he can't stay around for 10 years. So it's gonna be interesting if they kill him off or if he's still president at the end of this, right? It just depends on his stance from the last president from Secret Invasion on how he feels about these things, or if or if people would accept him as president as the Red Hulk, or if this even gets out. We don't know yet, so we'll see. But guys, I'm so excited for this movie. I mean, Marvel truly feels like they've stepped their game up since Phase 4. I mean, I've liked most of the stuff they've put out recently. I did like Captain Marvel 2. It's sad that it underperformed, but that movie was really good. It's good to see people kind of coming around on that. Loki Season 2 obviously was a banger. That's one of my favorite like Marvel projects ever. I love Loki Season 2. And Deadpool is looking amazing. I mean, they showed the first like hour and a half of the movie, or hour, and people loved it. I mean, it's getting insane reviews. Comes out in 2 weeks, and now this, and then we have Fantastic Four and X-Men coming up. I truly think we're in a new age, and I'm glad Marvel took the step back and went back to how old Marvel is and stuff. So I am excited. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited for Captain America? Do you think they should have not made another movie? Do you like Sam Wilson as Captain America? I do. I'm excited for this movie. I like the Captain America movies because besides Civil War, they can always be like kind of political thrillers a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.